Get my papers here. This is meeting of City Commission on April 14th, 2020 at 5:30. Could we have a roll call, please?
Smith.
Here.
Booth.
Here.
Commissioner Gregg will be late. Robish.
Present.
Mayor Harrington.
I'm present. Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, public forum. Public comments may be sent to us during the live meeting broadcast on the city's YouTube web channel. The link is listed under city website at www.hursd.com/citygovernment. In order to use the YouTube and chat feature, please create an account with your YouTube and chat email for use or your existing accounts. Please state your name and address for the record. Public forum is limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per person. Do I have anybody in the audience tonight that would like to speak on public forum? Seeing none, Janice is on our phone system tonight, and she will give me a heads up if somebody calls in and has a question. We'll answer the question for them at that time. Agenda approval. I have some amendments to our agenda tonight. I'll start with 4.8. We are going to remove the date of September 16th off that. That's going to be deleted. Then we'll go to 6.2. Well, that will be deferred to a later date. And we will go to 9.1. We'll add to 9.1 at the end, a conversation on opening of the City Hall. So that's my amended agenda. I indicate I take a vote for a motion for that, please.
Motion to approve with the amendments.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Robish and second by Commissioner Smith. Any discussion on any of those? If not, we'll have a roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Booth.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Consent agenda. Matters appearing on the consent agenda are expected to be non-controversial and will be acted upon by the Commission at one time without discussion. Unless a member of the Commission requests an opportunity to address any given item, items removed from the consent agenda will be discussed at the beginning of the formal items. We have a long consent agenda tonight, so I'll get right with it. 4.1, minutes of August 31st meeting. August 31st, 2020 meeting. 4.2, fuel quotes for city departments. 4.3, proclamation for direct support Professional Recognition Week. 4.4, appointive boards. Appointment of Mayor Harrington to the Northeast Council of Government Board of Directors. Accept the resignation of Megan Schmeidinger from the Community Improvement Committee. 3, appointment of Jessica Hoskins to the Community Improvement Committee. 4.5, parade permit filed by the Huron Chamber and Visitors Bureau for the annual Parade of Lights on November 27th, contingent to the approval by the South Dakota Department of Transportation for use of the Highway 37 for Dakota Avenue. 4.6, alcohol beverage consumption in public area, but filed by Darcy Dobo for a birthday party September 19th at Prospect Park and Glide Slide Shelter. 4.7, date change from September 21st to September 23rd for alcoholic beverages consumption permit filed by Rachel Hunt for the family gathering at Prospect Park picnic shelter. 4.8, special event on sales licenses filed by the South Dakota State Fair for the wedding receptions to be held in Norby's Exhibit Hall on the following dates: September 19th, September 26th, October 17th, and October 24th, 2020. 4.9, set September 28th as a public hearing date to consider 2020-21 retail off-sale malt beverage and South Dakota Farm Wines license filed by Carlson's Northside Services, Carlson's Northside Service, 320 Dakota Avenue, Suite B. 4.10, set September 28th is a public hearing date to consider the 2020-21 retail on-sale malt beverage and South Dakota Farm Wine license filed by Don't Spill the Beans, Rhonda Sprecher, 289 Dakota Avenue, Suite 104. 4.11, payment of the bills. Entertain a motion to,
Move to approve the consent.
Commissioner Smith,
Second.
second by Commissioner Robish. Any questions, any discussion? None, could I have a roll call, please?
Smith.
Aye.
Booth.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. At this time, I'd like to read a proclamation. I'd invite the people from the direct command to come up. Come here. You come over here. I didn't tell you where to come, did I? So I don't.
No, you didn't.
I always say that. Okay, this is a proclamation. Direct Support Professionals Recognition Week. Whereas direct support professionals are an integral part of our long-term care system that serves people in intellect development and physical disabilities or limitations inherent, and whereas by providing an array of personal care services to people who require assistance with personal hygiene, mobility, medications, and preparation, transportation, and other valuable daily activities, direct support professional people enable people to remain successfully in their homes and avoid costly institutional care. Whereas direct support professionals provide essential support to help keep person with developmental disabilities connected to their family and friends and community. Whereas the City of Huron wishes to thank and commend direct support professionals for helping promote health, safety, and emotional well-being, as well as independence and inclusion, plus offering these individuals the opportunity to live more meaningful and productive lives in our community. Now therefore is resolved that I, Gary Harrington, Mayor of the City of Huron, South Dakota, hereby proclaim September 13th through the 19th, 2020 as a week of Direct Support Professionals Recognition Week. In Huron, and recognize the dedication and contribution of the direct support professionals from the Center of Independence in supporting individuals with disabilities and their families. In witness thereof, I hereby set my hand and cause the seal of City of Huron to be affixed 14th day of September, year of our Lord, 2020. So with that, we certainly appreciate all you people, all you do. And I think I speak for the commission. I'm glad that you take that accord on to do it, because I don't know if we could ourselves. So we certainly appreciate what you do for us in here. So.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Where are we? Petitions and communications. 6.1, public hearing to consider transferring 2020 retail on-sale liquor license from Lodge Steakhouse and Lounge, 460 Dakota Avenue South, to Huron Elks Number 444, 460 Dakota Avenue South. Pauline, do you have, Finance Officer, do you have something to speak on this?
Just like you stated, Mayor, this is a transfer back to the Elks from the former owner. We had no calls, no issues, we recommend approval.
Do we have a motion to approve?
Move approval. Second.
We approve in second. Do we have any discussion on this? If none, roll call, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Booth.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Okay. Okay, we'll go to 6.3, consider COVID testing and call center contract and authorize the mayor to sign. Motion to approve.
So moved.
So moved by Commissioner Clute, second.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Smith. Any discussion?
Well, I guess we should probably, for the sake of the, excuse me, Mayor,
Sure. Go ahead.
the sake of the public, know where the number came from. I think it's a reasonable compensation to car. But can you enlighten me a little bit on how that number was arrived at?
The task force committee got together and in recognition of the efforts that the car clinic and their associates had done since March for us, sat down and tried to figure out what we felt was a fair and appropriate amount. This amount that's being paid each month would also cover the operations call center also. And it was decided that based upon their professional staffing of that that'd be a fair amount for a monthly figure. And by the way, this money will come out of the CARES Act. So it will not come out of the budget of the city of Huron. It'll come out of what the CARES Act, which was provided to us by our governor to utilize for expenses for the COVID. So it's still taxpayers' money, but it's not the local taxpayers' money. So that's how it came about. And we need the contract to ratify. That's how we're going to compensate them for their work that they've done so far.
And I appreciate that, Mayor, and I agree that it's an appropriate amount. I think because of the professional nature of it, but also because of the risk they take on in doing this work, and they've done a wonderful job. I had to have surgery a couple months ago, and as a prelude to that, I was required to take the COVID test, so I actually got to see them in operation, and they did a wonderful job and very efficient, and they just know what they're doing, and we're lucky to have them, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And we're fortunate to have the COVID money too, because when we started, we didn't know how we were going to compensate them. So we're very fortunate and thankful that we have that we can utilize that money to provide this service. So, any other discussion? With that, I entertain a vote. Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Booth.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Ordinance and resolutions. Tucker, you can handle this one for us, if you would, please.
All right. 7.2, Mayor.
Yes, I'm sorry, 7.1.
So 7.1 doesn't really have a reading.
Yeah.
So budget. budget appropriation. You can handle it, Joe.
Oh, this is the first reading of the annual appropriation for 2020, and consider setting the second reading for September 28th.
So we got really close. I'm gonna run through the memo with you guys. We did get some new growth numbers from the Buell County last week, which our new growth was 0.9, compared to last year was 0.6. With the 1.7 CPI, our increase in property taxes is $135,285. Again, like we've talked many times, the sales tax, we're budgeting first and second penny flat at $3.5 million each. Third penny, we have adjusted to $370,000, that's $10,000 less than last year. Third penny is taking a big hit this year with the issues going on. But I'm hoping next year we'll still be able to get to the 370. Salaries we've worked through, and again, I know there's negotiations, so you're working on those as well. But this time there's 2% and 2% steps. Work comp is at 0.99. We have had some increase in work comp, and sometimes the increase will come based on the salaries, but we have had some use this year. We don't have the good number yet. 0.99 is what they told me to use. Our property liability insurance is based on our budget numbers. So when we do the renewal in January, we'll base those on the liability numbers, the police, fire, public works, and our office staff. And also health insurance. I don't have those numbers. I understand from Nathan and talking with them myself maybe this week.
I was hoping last week, but
Yeah,
I've been working with Hub and Scott Duncan there, and
they just don't have them. It's hard to get them this early, and we know that. Sometimes they can get them to us, sometimes they cannot. We have increased 10% in the budget. We had that in there the whole time, but we did not know that renewal number at this time. Capital assets, we had our final meeting on August 24th for the recommendations for second penny. Total for second penny is a little over $20 million. Again, 14 million of that is the big sewer project. General fund, we are asking for $2,048,000. Park and Rec is $64,174. Splash Central is $221,883. Remember, we're including those 2 slides next year to be redone, or the resurfacing, excuse me, not the slides, the resurfacing of the 2 pools. Community campus is $44,886. E911 is $3,480. Event Center, $237,040. Again, that is for an HVAC system for the Prairie Ballroom, C&D. Debt service bonds that we paid for out of sales tax, $663,900. The bid committee is asking for some new flooring for the workout room of $3,654. Airport is $150,900. Golf, $79,538. So the total second penny request is $3,517,414. So that actually is a little bit less than what we're expecting in the budget. But I think this year is a good year to maybe have a little surplus at the end. And if things come up, we know we have a little extra if we get the cash. In the enterprise funds, the capital recommendations are water, $1,127,269. Again, we have about almost $1 million water main project next year. And then sewer, $16,173,000. We have the $14 million sewer treatment project, as well as the Vantage Park project of $1.7 million. And into solid waste is $153,700, and that includes a new truck. Enterprise funds for utility increases. We're looking at water 3% based on the study that we did this year, and 7.7 for the sewer. The 7.7 for sewer is actually less than the last couple of years we've taken. Last year was over an 11% increase. The year before was almost 11%. It was like 10.8. So 7.7% is actually a little bit less than we have been taking, and that should keep us on track with the study now as we move forward in the years for increases. Cost of living for solid waste is 3%, and when we do our rates resolution coming up at the end of the year, 3% will be added to those things as we review with department heads. The budget has been a little bit of a struggle this year, not bad. Department heads were great to work with. They all sent in very good budgets. Pretty much mirrored 2020, which was very helpful for us and you guys to try to get this thing worked through. So I have to pat them on the back. That was very helpful. The finance staff for all the work they put into it, as well as you as a city commission. We sit here a lot of long nights working through these numbers, and we do appreciate it. So with that, I do know that with the increase in property taxes that we acquired for the general fund, we will be using unencumbered cash of $75,612 from reserves. So we cut that even a little more with that increase in property taxes. So that is my recommendation with the first reading, is to use those reserves in the general fund in the amount of it's actually $72,006, excuse me. The only other thing I know is before the second reading, which will be on the 28th, is the discussion of health insurance. And again, I don't know those numbers, so. With that, if you have any questions, let me know, or I ask for approval for the first reading.
Mayor, if I may.
Yes.
That fund deficit also includes a contingency.
Yes, there's a $75,000 contingency in the general fund. So we did keep that in there.
Thank you.
If the health insurance is more than 10% increase, will we make up the shortfall by reserves, or what does that do to this?
The reserves are contingency. We won't know those numbers yet, but we could use that contingency that we have in there for that as well.
Okay. Hopefully it'll be less.
Hopefully it'll be less or right at, but we do have that source to do that, yes.
I need a motion to approve, too.
I move to approve the first reading of the 2021 budget.
Commissioner Smith, need a second?
Second.
Commissioner Rovers, second. Any more discussion on this? Roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Clute. Bragg.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. Now, City Attorney Tucker Valesky, I'm going to call on you in order.
Thank you, Mayor. Now we're
For
ready.
7.2.
Appreciate it. So, first reading of ordinance number 2215-18-77. An ordinance to amend section 18.08.010 of chapter 18.08 and section 18.12.010 of chapter 18.12 of title 18 of ordinance in revision number 850, commonly known as the municipal code of the city of Huron, South Dakota, pertaining to building regulations, building permit required, and adoption of ICC 2018 version codes.
Thank you. Do we have anybody who would like to speak to that?
If there's questions, I can surely answer them.
Okay. Need a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Motion's approved by Commissioner Smith. Need a second?
Second.
By Commissioner Robish, a second. Okay, discussion. Any discussion on this?
Can I just add one quick thing?
Sure.
You can see in that ordinance, we took the rates, we lined out the rates. The rates will be put in the rate resolution at the end of the year, but we'll also be passing a resolution next week with the second reading for those new rates.
And that's an advantage because we can change those rates more frequently without amending
Right,
this.
it's easier than doing an ordinance.
Can we just have an explanation from Chris perhaps as to why we're doing this? And
We are currently have adopted the 2015 code. We're just updating it to the 2018 code. And there was some differences from our ordinance per se in the zoning ordinance as to what the building code says. So we're amending some of the things out of the ICC code as far as, you can see number B on the 1808-010. There's, basically, this is what we're not allowing, or does not require a permit.
Are those to be consistent with?
To be consistent
Is that what you're
with-
saying?
Yeah, to be consistent with our zoning ordinances. I can just give you an example, like, one in the building code says that one-story detached accessory structures don't require a building permit. The zoning ordinance requires a building permit for placement, stuff like that, it's just minute. Another one would be fences. The building code doesn't require fences unless they're taller than 7 feet. Well, our zoning ordinance states that we have to have a fence permit issued for any size fence. So it's just, those are the two major ones. And then there's another one that says decks. This would be 10 in the building code. Decks not exceeding 200 square feet don't require a building permit. Our zoning ordinance requires a building permit for decks as well. So that, I guess if there's question, then maybe, that's pretty much the extent of what we're doing. And like Paulin explained, it's much easier to change our rates, putting it in the resolution.
Any other discussion on this? If not, roll call vote, please.
Smith.
Aye.
Good.
Aye.
Wright.
Aye.
Robish.
Aye.
Mayor Harrington.
Aye. With that, we'll go into a work session. That concludes our agenda for the night, other than our work session. And 9.1, Huron Community Campus Fine Arts Occupancy